3 seconds to go, 2 seconds to go, and Dwyer will upset Findlay Prep, and yes, it is an upset.
Seeing the preseason video that you did, that had clips from that tournament, and I saw what I was wearing from the locker room. I'm not a superstitious guy, probably because I'm so competitive. I won't allow that, but I do think about it. So when I was packing, I thought, this is what I was wearing.
We capitalized on our turnovers, and unfortunately, we came up a little bit short today and ran out of time.
Because I remember standing outside that locker room, seeing it in that locker room, and I said, you know what? I might not wear it in the event that we get to that third game, but I'm packing this thing. I'm going to pack it, and I'm going to beat it. We're going to beat it. If we're as good as I think we are and are capable of it, we're going to do it, and we're going to do it one day with me wearing this shirt. So I thought about it a few times on the trip and in the hotel, and I did. I saved that one for the last day, and I went out there with it on and said, it is what it is, and this shirt has absolutely zero to do with this game and the outcome, but doggone it, I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna beat it.
For the 12-minute mark in the second, that's all gonna start paying off. If you're
And then we just gotta finish, put that thing in there, and we will.
Finish on 3, 1, 2, 3.
I'm still positive. Why don't ride until then? Working, moving.
Grinding, outlaw.
We all just started listening to it. It's Soulja Boy. It's called Grinding.
Grinding. Every day I'm grinding. Outlaw.
I don't know. That song just gets me hyped for some reason.
We all like similar music. That's kind of one of our common artists that we all listen to, Soulja Boy and Ocean Gang.
I mean, that song is just one of those songs, it's real catchy, it gets you started, it gets you pumped up, it gets your blood flowing.
They got some music that'll get you right before the game, so I know what it's like when you listen to that song, and he was listening to it, and he was really feeling it, but I don't blame him, because I've had those same songs that do the same thing to me.
I couldn't guard. When I was a player in high school or college, I wasn't a defensive guy. I couldn't guard to save my butt. But, that was one of those things that I knew when I could shoot a little bit, so when I had good defenders on me, I knew how tough it was for me to be successful.
Whatever side Kasey on, make it.
So I always thought, those are the guys I want. I want guys that can do things I can't or couldn't do.
A lot of their actions on the opposite side, they'll run a double, they'll stagger a double. You just got to be right on his hip.
It takes a special individual to come in naturally and say, oh, I love defense to begin with. We make it a priority, and the old saying, goes, you get what you emphasize.
Boom, backdoor you. That's what they try to do. They have that kind of in their deal.
Get faster, get past tired, get tougher, get the results, get it figured out. All that stuff you hear from me all year long, all those little sayings, those little 3-word phrases. Today is the day, the ultimate day. Put it all together. Guys, we gotta put it all together. Like I've said before, today's that day. For you seniors, there are 32 minutes left in your high school careers. 32 minutes. 4 years has come down to 32 minutes. This is the last high school basketball game being played in the country. This is what you guys all talked about This is what you guys all expected and wanted coming to Findlay. This is why, right now, for 32 minutes, how do you want to be remembered? That 2009 team, that 2010 team, they left their legacy. That's in the books. No one can ever take that away from them. Last year, that legacy was left. Not a good one, not a great one, not how we wanted to end. You guys have done a great job putting yourself where we want to be, where we need to be. How are you going to finish?
No, man, it's the last time we all going to be on the floor together. We are, seniors are going to bigger and better things, but let's enjoy this last run together, y'all. Peter on 3, 1, 2, 3.
The high school national championship will be on the line today at Georgetown Prep in Maryland, where McDonald's All-American and one of the nation's top unsigned seniors, Anthony Bennett, will lead the top-seeded Findlay Prep Pilots against Florida's Montverde Academy and their superstar junior guard, Kasey Hill. It's Findlay and Montverde. The National High School Invitational Championship is next.
Kasey Hill is a very talented player, and you expected him to come and perform in such a big game. And they had a lot of energy. And honestly, for us to be one of the top or higher ranked teams in the country, you expect them to come out full energy. Like this is their biggest game of the season for them, and you expected it.
Head coach, two-time NHSI champion. Findlay Prep is 31-1 this year. It'll be Wilms in the center circle against Noco for the tip, and off we go. And Montverde has the basketball to start.
Montverde wants to play this game at a fast pace. They know they can't slow it down against the bigger, stronger Findlay Prep inside.
It was like we got the tip, and then a couple plays went by, and then I hit a shot, and then I thought we was all about to start rolling, like everybody was cheering.
Future Oregon Duck Dominic Artis, who's really taken the scoring load over with Bennett.
And then they scored like 10 in a row. Next thing I looked up, it was 14-2.
Kasey Hill comes right back to tie us at 4. Hill's got Garino. Hill the crossover to the rim. Vito run from Montverde. Bennett's a good guy to do it. He got it blocked by Inunga. Kasey Hill back the other way with the left hand. Kasey Hill doing it all in the first 4 minutes. And a timeout called by Mike Peck.
And then as we called timeout, it was kind of like we was even the staff was a little shocked.
Kasey came out, like I said, he's the point guard for the team. He was the captain, and he kind of started that surge. And like I said, they came out executing, but he came out, I think he had, 9 quick points. His team really fed off that. And so, credit to him, as the point guard, he really set the tone early for his team.
Hill, the pitch to Garino, that's a 3.
That was beautiful. The dribble penetration. Findlay Prep's getting rattled a little bit right now. They're losing their composure.
I think sometimes we don't underestimate teams, but it's almost to the point like we're thinking like we already have it before we even do.
Brandon Ashley right in the face of Inanga coming back. Comes Della Valle, leaving it off for Shepard, and now Findlay's fast break starting to get going. But Williams-Goss with the bump and the bucket. Findlay had not lost a quarter in this tournament until this first quarter where Kasey Hill was dominant.
I can't really put my finger on why and how we came out like that. The theory I think is JY wasn't there. The first 2 games, JY had been there and he in the locker room barking. And you know what I'm saying, just getting us hyped up for the game, and we came out. In the previous 2 games, we came out strong. You know what I'm saying? And I think JY had a lot to do with that.
Montverde goes into the halftime break with a 9-point lead. 11 points for Kasey Hill.
At halftime, we were only down like 9 points. So going into the half, I was like, okay, the first half over with. We didn't play our best at all. So the lead actually could have been more. And so my thought process really was like, I already know we're going to come out of halftime, pick it up from the gate, and we just going to go from there.
But still, even at that point, we weren't worried just because we knew, all the talent on our team, great coaching staff, there's nothing to really worry about. Just got to come back, play with a lot more energy, play a lot harder, and, it's possible.
We were in a situation that, like I said, we hadn't really been in. And so I think at first it was kind of like, whoa, because we hadn't been in a situation, we hadn't faced that. Not that they were doing anything different than other teams, but we just hadn't been down, like that.
Findlay Prep down by 9 to start this second half. They've trailed by as many as 12. They got as close as 5.
In the third, we come out of the locker room. We've always come out of the locker room strong. The first 4.5 minutes of the third, you know, we didn't get a bucket. We didn't score a point.
He has to decide how they penetrates, but he doesn't.
Winston Shepard trying to give some energy to Findlay. He misses the layup.
6-0 in the first 4 minutes at the media timeout. And we just felt like we couldn't break the lid off this thing, you know, and at that point, it was kind of like, let's try the next thing on the list.
Now Winston Shepard, you can't see in the play, but he picked up a cheap foul in mid-court.
I think I had went to the bench and I had like 4 fouls or something, and I felt like I was about to foul out, and I was just thinking like, man, I played so bad on TV on my last game.
Winston's body language hit a season all-time low, which affected his play. We certainly don't want to be 5-on-4, so I'm going to go ahead and get him out of that lineup and give somebody else a shot to see that, you know, we need more. We need more out of every guy that's out there.
I went to the bench and I was sitting there, and we had went to zone. And as soon as we went to zone, I think they hit like
2 threes, and then they hit like 2 more. And then I was like, oh, okay.
Hill to Frazier.
We'll come down, we'll get a layup, and then they'll come down, dribble some time off the clock, and then
Frazier, back-to-back threes.
Did the last possession, they didn't clean the glass on the
Late on the close.
There's the zone buster.
The crowd was talking to us, you better get out that zone. I didn't know who it was, but like I heard someone in the crowd saying that.
Is this how we gonna go out? You know what I'm saying? Is this what we done worked hard for to get beat like this?
I'll tell you, I know the score, 29-44 in the third. They hit a 3 to make it 44. And I quickly glanced down at Kevin Boyle at the other bench, and he quickly glanced over, and there was no exchange of anything, but I thought to myself, he's in a pretty good situation right now.
If you told Kevin Boyle that in his first year at the job at Montverde that he would have a 16-point lead in the championship game of the NHSI Classic, he would have taken that year every single time.
If I was a fan, I was definitely waiting for it to happen, whatever that is. I mean, everybody knows usually, you know, whatever, we'll come out, get down, you know, or a team will go up, but it always feels like we're in control. You know, on the court, I don't know how it looked from the fan or TV, but we were never in control that game.
Frazier with another 3, and the number 2 team in the country is down by 17 points.
Yeah, as you know, it just felt like you just feel all that pressure on you. Every time you get the ball, you can just feel the pressure from the crowd. You can't tell that people are watching on TV, but you know that. You know, you make a mistake or you make something good, you always know there's someone watching you. So it seemed to get a lot tougher in there, but same thing, we stuck it out.
They just hit a 3 to go up 15. We need to make some sort of an adjustment. We need to do something different, because what we're doing, just even from the message standpoint to our players that, hey, we're going to exhaust every effort and we're going to try different avenues and options to get the result that we ultimately want.
It was really tough for me, man, and I was kind of in shock. I was just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And it was kind of hurting for me.
Of course it's gonna hit you, you know, and it hit you hard too. Like, I just can't let this happen, like, you know? It was one of those type of things, but I was never like all the way down where it's like, okay, I give up type thing. Like, you can't, you know, you can't give up.
We're gonna see if there's any leadership right now for Findlay Prep.
Brandon Ashley trying to take this game over, and he's got 6 points already here in the fourth, 19 on the game to lead all scorers.
We were down 18 at the last media timeout.
Every 4 minutes of each quarter, they have a media timeout.
And we got like 2 turnovers, and then they kind of hit us a little bit.
Guarino, the offensive rebound and the putback. What a night for the senior from Argentina. And it's a 16-point lead with under 4 minutes to go. Winston Shepard.
And I remember a point I looked at the clock and I was just like, if we can get this game to overtime, we can win.
For about 3 weeks, we've been working on situations over and over, and I know the guys, it was taxing.
And what we do in practice, at the end of practice, we'll have like situational games.
One of the situations that we went through, we'd say, okay, you're down 12 with 3 minutes.
Down 8 points, 2 minutes, their ball.
And it became a game in practice. We literally called them, 4-minute games or 3-minute games, 2-minute games, 1-minute games. And we did it over and over in practice and just said, okay, that's a win, that's a loss, that's a win.
Obviously, we've never done no crazy situation like down 17 with 4 minutes, because I'm pretty sure if he said that in practice, we'd look at him like, why are we even doing that? Like, the game would be over.
And really, we got to that final timeout, and we looked up at the thing and said, look, guys, this is that situation that we've gone over and over.
That's what really gave us light, seeing that we had did it before. Not in the game, but so much in practice, it was like, all right, we just got to call on that.
The game was 38-29. Findlay Prep with a jump ball, and they'll take over possession with 2:46 remaining.
And it was, I think more than anything, the guys, it was a comfort. They knew exactly, we're going to get to the line, we're going to die inbounds, we're going to gamble in the back court, foul in the front court.
Williams-Goss knocks down a big three.
And then I thought, if we get it to 9, under 10, it's still at a stage with time-wise where it's like, And just as I thought that, it went to 9.
Dominic Artis got met at the rim. He got the bucket.
The next thing I thought was, is this happening?
7 turnovers the last 9 possessions. Ashley buries a big jumper. He's had a huge fourth quarter, and what was once an 18-point game is down to 5 with 2 minutes left. Another Montverde turnover. 8 turnovers in the last 10 possessions.
Difficult spot for Kevin Boyle. He's got 1 timeout left. His team is unraveling right now.
Brandon Ashley, a monster second half. Too strong. Imbed trying to fight for it. Shepard comes out with it for the 2. And it's back to a 5-point game. And Imbed is going to get whistled for his 4th foul. Brandon Ashley past Imbed. It's a 2-point game. Single-handedly has brought Findlay Prep back into this.
Every basketball player, I'm sure, has played a game like that where it's like everything seems to be going right for you. You know, you're not turning it over, you're making every shot, getting steals, playing great defense. Like, it's just like an out-of-body experience. Like, it's not you doing it, you're kind of sitting on the sideline, like watching yourself do it.
Driving on Artis, that's a traveling violation, and Findlay Prep is going to have a chance to tie it or take the lead. Brandon Ashley driving to the rim, and he'll go to the line with a chance to tie the game. Boyle's team had an 18-point lead in the 3rd quarter. Findlay with a chance to tie the game with Brandon Ashley, the future Arizona Wildcat, 11 of 12 at the line today. 2 shots coming.
Everybody wants to know, how did Findlay get back in the game? They felt the urgency. The seniors did not want to lose this game.
Tie game after being down by 18. Montverde basketball looking for the win. Here comes Garino. 15 seconds left, and now the ball in the hands of Kasey Hill. No timeouts for Montverde. This for an NHSI title.
One of the probably the biggest joys from a basketball standpoint, we're lined up. It's almost the philosophy of the program. All-American future pro with the ball 45 feet away. Nigel and Stan staring them down. Clock's ticking down. Guys are in great help position. Tie game. Findlay needs to get a stop. That's our program. That's what we do on the court.
5 to go. Kasey Hill, the future Gator for the win. We're going to overtime.
We got the stop we needed. We're going to overtime. At that point, there was 0% chance that I thought there was any way we were leaving that gym without a victory. And that was just the euphoria of the whole basketball thing for me, was that moment there.
When I realized it was the buzzer going into overtime, I was like, wow, we really did it.
I was like, we winning this, for sure. We winning this. If a team gives up 18 points in less than 4 minutes, what?
It was really hard to believe, but once I heard we were going to overtime, I was sitting there thinking, like, almost all their big men are all fouled out. I was thinking, you know, how are they going to stop us in the post? You know, that's what we kept doing.
It's funny because I told him and Anthony at halftime when we were coming back on the floor, I was like, y'all two are both McDonald's All-Americans. And I said, be that player. Down the stretch in that 4th quarter, he was that top 10 guy.
You know, obviously coming back from 16 down in that short period of time, it's pretty clear momentum was definitely rolling, with us. So, I remember turning around when we had lined up for the jump ball in overtime, and I looked right before the ref stepped in the circle to throw it up, and I just looked at both teams, and I turned around to Todd and I said, he has no size on the court left. And that's when I felt like, you know what, we clearly have an advantage here. And I felt really good about it. You don't know. And then, go figure, they win the tip. Kasey Hill goes down, drives it, and gets a layup like in 2 seconds.
Kasey Hill going to the rim.
So I'm thinking, okay, that's probably not the way we wanted to start the overtime, but let's see what we can do.
They're going to elect to double Ashley and dig down whenever he touches it. They have no big bodies. They do not have an option. If they can get the ball in the hole to Ashley.
Ashley ties the game. Findlay Prep looking for the lead. Their last advantage in this game was 4-2 in the opening minutes. ARIZ across midcourt. ARIZ off to Bennett! 82-80. Findlay's got the lead. 1:10 remaining. Garino. The pitch to Russell. He'll try it again. He's good for the Montverde lead. Williams-Goss driving to the lane for the lead. Got it to go. 13 seconds left. Here comes Hill. Final seconds for an NHSI championship. Hill for the lead. Off the mark. Shepard the rebound. He gets fouled with 2 seconds to go. And Findlay is a couple of free throws away from erasing an 18-point deficit, coming back for a third title.
And the other thing that I thought was pure irony, not only doing that and being successful at it, in practice for the entire season when we do our gut free throws, Winston's always last. And for whatever reason, it always comes down to him, make or miss, whether or not we're running or not. And he always came through, always came through.
Let me make it now for we break.
You gotta make 1-1, he's gotta make both.
Yeah, man. Last 2 free throws of his career.
Winston Shepard. This is a big one coming to make it a 3-point game. A frustrating day for Winston Shepard.
So to him go to the line in overtime to ice it, we just sat there and said, are you kidding me? He's done this for 65 practices, and now it's up to him again.
3-point game.
And sure enough, he is 1,000% confidence that he was going to make it.
Last chance for Montverde. Findlay Prep erasing an 18-point second half deficit, taking their first lead. And they're up by 3, looking for their 3rd NHSI title. We have a second straight double overtime game. Garino looking for Russell to tie the game.
So happy. Like, if you watch the game and stuff, that was like probably the first time I really started jumping up and down after a win. Like, I was just so happy. Like, I didn't know what to say. I was just screaming. It was crazy.
I couldn't stop smiling. Like, I'm hugging my mom and my grandma. My grandma is like almost crying. You know, she's so happy. My mom gives me like the biggest hug and she says, I'm proud of you. And I think when a mother says that she's proud of you, like, that's got to be the best feeling in the world.
I mean, it took probably a week just for it to even start to sink in. I can't even say it's fully sunk in yet, but it took at least a week just for it to really start to sink in.
We got it, man. We got it. Now 17, boy. Let's go. Fourth quarter comeback.
I got to tell you, that might be a once in a lifetime experience. I mean, that's might be once in a lifetime. You know, I mean, that having that comeback, I mean, once in a lifetime.
Why'd they ask me, oh, Winston, can you imagine how they feel right now?
Oh, Winston, can you imagine feeling another locker room for you on the other side?
Yeah. I want to be like, I don't give a shit how they feel. but I played it nice. I was like,
I wish those guys best of luck.
Somebody had to lose, you know, best of luck next year. You know, the usual.